400,000 years ago in Germany, a hunter threw a spear at a galloping horse. The spear flew 20 meters. It struck with enough force to kill the animal. But this wasn't just a sharpened stick. The hunter had carved it, so the heaviest section sat exactly 1/3 from the tip. That's the same center of gravity as a modern javelin. To understand how they got there, you need to go back further. 3 million years further. For most of that time, your ancestors were not apex predators. They had no claws, no venom, no speed to outrun a lion. They competed with hyenas for scraps that larger predators left behind. Their advantage wasn't in the body. It was in what they chose to do with rocks. In 2015, archaeologist Sonia Harmand published a finding that rewrote the timeline. Her team found 149 stone tools on the western shore of Lake Turkana in Kenya. The tools dated to 3.3 million years ago. That pushed the origin of tool-making back by 700,000 years, and beyond the emergence of our own genus entirely. The tools were almost certainly made by early ancestors with brains close to a chimpanzee's. Not Homo sapiens. Not even early Homo. Something older, and it was deliberately shaping stone. How do we know it was deliberate? The fracture patterns show controlled strikes at chosen angles, not random breakage. Not random. Not accidental. Someone was choosing where to hit, and how hard and why. 700,000 years later, a more systematic tradition appears in the record. Named after Oldowan Gorge in Tanzania, it's called the Oldowan industry. Here, the toolmakers show something new. They can identify the right spot on a stone core. They can predict where the fracture will travel before the blow even lands. Strike at the right spot, and a sharp-edged flake peels away cleanly. That flake is a cutting tool, right off the core, ready to use. Cut marks on animal bones confirm these flakes were used to process carcasses. The associated species include early Homo, possibly Homo habilis, meaning handy man, but also late Australopithecines, the pre-Homo ancestors. Groups near good stone outcrops had a significant advantage over those who didn't. Evidence shows some groups carried flint nodules over 50 kilometers from their source. That is logistical planning across days of travel. The technique behind all of this is called knapping, shaping stone by striking it. And it works because of one specific physical property. Strike certain stones, and they crack in the same predictable pattern every single time. Flint, obsidian, and chert have no grain structure, unlike granite. Without that grain structure, the crack travels exactly where your blow drives force through. Think of it as the stone doing exactly what the physics demands. Get the angle right, and a perfectly curved flake peels away. Too steep, and the blow just crumbles the surface into dust. Too shallow, and the flake slides off thin and useless. The window of success is narrow. A skilled knapper today takes years to develop this control. A beginner just makes gravel. Obsidian, volcanic glass, knaps to an edge sharper than a surgical steel blade. Some surgeons still use obsidian scalpels for delicate procedures today. But here's what this actually required. Even the simplest flake demands cause-and-effect thinking most animals can't perform. You have to model what will happen inside the rock before you strike it. You're running a mental simulation of a process you cannot see. Researchers tested this with a bonobo named Kanzi, one of the most cognitively advanced non-humans ever studied. Kanzi learned to produce sharp flakes, but his technique was to throw the core against a hard surface. He got the output, but through a completely different mental process. Human knappers use the brain's planning circuits, the same ones involved in language. Brain scans of expert knappers show this directly. The region associated with language and complex planning lights up during advanced knapping. Around 1.76 million years ago, something new appears in the record. The Acheulean handaxe, the next generation of stone tool. Shaped on both sides, symmetrical, with sharp edges running its full length. Making one requires removing dozens of flakes in a precise, sequenced order. while holding a mental image of the finished shape the entire time. And sometimes you have to make a cut that makes the tool look worse right now. Because 5 flakes later, it enables something better. That's not simple tool making. That's planning within planning. Homo erectus, an early human species that spread out of Africa, produced this handaxe. And the tradition lasted 1.5 million years. Across Africa, Europe, and parts of Asia. 1.5 million years of the same design. That is the longest-running successful technology in the history of life on this planet. Nothing else comes close. But here's the puzzle about these handaxes. Many of them are far more symmetrical than any cutting job requires. Some show no cut marks at all. They were never put to work. Some were made from stone, carried over 100 kilometers from its source. Why spend days making something you never use? Some researchers have proposed these were status objects, proof of skill that couldn't be faked. Making a handaxe this precise takes years of practice. The maker was demonstrating something, that their hands and mind were worth paying attention to. The world's first status symbol. 2 million years ago, something not yet fully human was making objects more beautiful than survival required. Not to cut, possibly to impress. The gap between a bashed cobble and this handaxe is one of the strangest journeys in history. Part 2 picks up where the stone ends. See you there.